Dear students of 10th standard, I welcome you all to enter into a new lesson, Unit 9, Solution. Already we have discussed about atomic structure and periodic classification. Also for the lesson, periodic classification of elements, I posted answer for textbook evaluation for choose the best answer, fill in the blanks, match, true or false, assertion and reason, and short answer questions, long answer questions, and hard questions. And you are also instructed to write classwork for short answer questions, long answer question, and hard questions. The remaining objectives you can prepare by using this display. Also, if you want, you can write in your classwork. Now we are going to discuss about a new topic, solution. That is Unit 9 in your chemistry portion of science book, solution. So it is given in the introductory part. Already you have discussed a ninth standard also about element, compound, mixture. So these solutions are nothing but they are going to be a homogeneous mixtures. Now we are moving to the introductory part. That is you have learnt about mixtures in your lower classes. Most of the substances that we encounter in our daily life are mixtures of two or more substances. The substances present in a mixture may exist in one or more physical state. For example, when we burn wood, the smoke released is a mixture of solid carbon and gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, etc. So in this param, you have to understand about mixture. Already have learned in the lower classes. What is called mixture? Mixtures are nothing but the substances contain two or more kinds of elements or compounds. In 9th standard that you have studied, the substances which contains two or more kinds of elements or compounds may be physically mixed together in any ratio. These are called mixtures. Example also you have learned tap water. Tap water is a mixture because it contains water along with some dissolved salt. Also air is a mixture because air contains gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, rare gases, also water vapor, dust particle. All these elements are in air. So these mixtures encounter in our life, in our daily life. So these mixtures are because of the combination of two or three elements or compounds. Two or three elements, maybe same element or different kinds of elements, combine both physically in any ratio. The example is given, smoke. When we burn the wood, what happens? See, smoke is released. Smoke contains two components. One is fine solid carbon particle. Fine solid carbon particles along with gases like carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. When the wood is burned, an excess of oxygen, carbon dioxide gas is released. Suppose the wood is born in the limited supply of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen, carbon monoxide gas also form. Then in the second part it is given how to separate the components. How to separate the components of this mixture. How to separate the components. Already we have discussed in the earlier section separating funnel, distillation method, fractional distillation method. All this we have learned in 9th standard. Now see, in some cases of mixtures, their components can be separated easily, whereas in some other cases they cannot be. So some components of the mixture easily separated using some physical method like a filtration, decondition. So these methods can be used to separate the components of mixture. But this method is not applicable for all type of mixture. For example, consider the two mixtures, one which contains salt and water, another contain sand and water. Two examples given, you have to understand. We are taking two mixture, one contains salt and water, salt dissolved in water, that is salt solution. That is first example, salt solution. Second one, sand with water, sand in water. Now you can easily understand. See, sand will not dissolve in water. Sand will not dissolve in water. The sand particles are going to settle at the bottom of the container. So this sand in water can be easily separated using the filtration method. By using filter, we can easily separate the sand particles and water. So it is a easy physical method. But at the same time, we cannot separate salt from water using this type of filtration method, because the salt, sodium chloride, is completely distributed along with the water molecule, uniformly distributed. So a homogeneous type of mixture is formed, that is called a homogeneous mixture. So in homogeneous mixture, the particles cannot be easily seen through our naked eye. We cannot see the salt particle in the solution of salt solution. So it is not easy to separate using physical method. So we have to use some other procedure to separate the salt from water, like distillation, fractional distillation. So water is the one of the component both the mixture. Both the example water is there, but in the first case salt dissolve in water. Second case the sand does not dissolve in water. So sand and water can be separated by filtration, but salt cannot be separated as it dissolves in water to form a homogeneous mixture. So here two kinds of mixture that you have to learn. One is homogeneous, that is salt in water is homogeneous mixture, and sand and water is heterogeneous mixture. So heterogeneous mixtures, the components of heterogeneous mixtures can be easily separated using some physical method, but the components of homogeneous mixture cannot be easily separated. We have to move to some chemical processes, chemical reactions to separate the component. So the kind of homogeneous mixture is called solution. The kind of homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous means the components are uniformly distributed. The components are uniformly distributed throughout the solution. So it shows the homogeneity at particle level. In the homogeneous solution, the homogeneity at a particle level is present. So that is called a homogeneous mixture. That homogeneous mixture only termed as solution. So example is given, see, salt and water, sand and water. Salt and water is homogeneous, sand and water is heterogeneous. So these are some of the examples. Now we are moving to the solutions in day-to-day life. One of the naturally existing solution is seawater. So in our daily life we see seawater. It is a naturally existing solution, and we cannot imagine life on earth without seawater. So seawater is very important one, and it play a very vital role because a large enormous amount of aquatic animals are living in the seawater, which give life to human being. Then seawater is nothing but it is a mixture of many dissolved salt. Seawater is mixture of many dissolved salts like sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride. These salts are dissolved in seawater. This is one example in our day-to-day life, that is seawater. Seawater. The second example, air. Air is another one fine example. It is a mixture of gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, rare gases, water vapor, dust particle. So these gases, these elements or components are in air. So seawater is a mixture, homogeneous mixture. Similarly, see, air is also mixture. Air is also mixture. These are the form of solutions. That is because the components are somewhat uniformly distributed, so they are called as solution. Then next, all the life forms on earth are associated with solutions. Yeah, solutions are very important and play a very important role in our life. For example, plant takes solutions of nutrients for their growth from the soil. Plant absorb the process of osmosis. Plant absorbs the nutrients in the form of solution from the soil. Then most of the liquids found in human body, in our body also, like blood, lymph and urine, are in the form of solutions. The urine, the waste products are dissolved by water and let out. Then in our day-to-day human activities like washing, cooking, cleaning and a few other activities involve the formation of solution with water. See, washing and bathing. See, washing, bathing, we use soap, shampoo, soap water. All these are going to form a soap solution. Soap solution. So they are also called solution. Similarly, the drinks what we take like fruit juice, aerated drink, tea, coffee are also in the form of solution. Fruit juice. So fruit juice contain fruit with water and also aerated water with the carbon dioxide in water. Tea, coffee, all these are the decoctions with the milk. So these are all kind of solutions. Therefore, the ability of water to form solution is responsible for the sustenance of life. So the process of making or continuing the life on the earth is because of the responsibility of the solution. That is the responsibility of the solution. That is the main responsibility. Then on the other hand, the same characters form the basic cause of addition of pollutants to water also. So these solutions also give very bad impact, that is going to add pollutants to water. Pollutant, the factories let out their effluents. The factories, tannery factory, paint factory, most of the factories dissolve their waste product by water, and in the form of solution these pollutants are mixed with water near the river bodies or water bodies are polluted because of this addition of pollutant to water. This is also a type of solution. Then, however, the ability of water to form solution influences the survival of man on the earth. In this lesson, let us learn science of solution. So, the ability of water to form solution influence the survival. So the survival of human being on the earth is based on the solution, based on the formation of solution. Then next one, see, we are going to study about the components of solution. Component. So there are mainly two components in a solution. One is solid, another one solvent. So we know that solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. So it is a homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture means the particles, the components are uniformly distributed, dissolved in the solvent. So there are two important components to form solution. One is solid, another one solvent. One is solid. Solid means the substance which is used for dissolving. Then, for example, sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a substance taken for dilution. Then, the component which is present in lesser amount is normally going to be solid. And the component present in larger amount by weight is called solvent. Normally, if you take water, water is going to be more percentage, more amount compared to sodium chloride. Then only we will get a homogeneous mixture. But the solvent is going to be in larger proportion, larger amount by weight. Then only we will get a uniform distribution of solid into solvent and a homogeneous mixture. Then two things you have to understand here. One is solid and another one is solvent. Solid is always present lesser amount by weight, and solvent is always present larger amount by weight. And the solid get distributed uniformly throughout the solvent and thus forming the mixture homogeneous. So the solvent act as a dissolving medium. So solvent is dissolving medium which is going to dissolve the sodium chloride or sugar or whatever the component taken. Then the process of uniform distribution of solid into solvent is called dissolution. The process of uniform distribution, the sodium chloride particles are uniformly distributed in the solvent, that is called dissolution. Then example, you can take here solid, that is maybe sodium chloride or sugar or glucose in solvent. For example, water. Water is a solvent. So when sodium chloride dissolve in solvent of water, we will get a salt solution. If we take sugar, sugar is a solid. Sugar solid dissolve in water solvent, then you will get sugar solution. Similarly, glucose in water, solution of glucose. So this is called dissolution because the solid particles are uniformly distributed into the solvent. It is called dissolution. Then next one, see, all solutions are mixtures, but all mixtures are not solutions. Why? For example, see, you take a homogeneous mixture like salt and water. That is a solution because that is a homogeneous mixture. That is a solution, and that is also called as mixture. The homogeneous mixture is called a solution. Homogeneous mixture, salt solution, sugar solution, and glucose solution, and these are all solutions in the form of homogeneous mixture. But all mixtures are not solution. If you take sand and water is a heterogeneous mixture, but it is not a solution. Clay and water, it is a heterogeneous mixture, but not a solution. Chalk and water, it is a heterogeneous mixture, but it is not a solution. So all the solution, that means the homogeneous mixtures are solution. Heterogeneous mixtures are not solution, but may be called as a mixtures. Then next one, you see, in this para that we are going to study about the types of solution. See here two types are given, which is called depends upon the consisting component. Depends upon the consisting component in the solution. Suppose a solution contains two components, that is called binary solution. Simply you have to understand, if a solution contains two components. What two components? Normally, if you take any solution, that should contain two components, at least two components, then only it is going to be called a solution. For example, if you take a sugar solution, and sugar and water, there are two components. Sugar is one component and the solvent water is one component. So two components are there, so it is called binary solution. And solution of sodium chloride, salt and water. Similarly here, one more example is given, and adding copper sulfate crystal to water, it dissolves in water forming copper sulfate solution. Here two components are given. Copper sulfate is solid and water is solvent. Copper sulfate is solid, water is solvent. So it is a binary solution because it contains two components. So any solution which contains two components are called binary solution. Bi means two, binary solution. Then suppose it contains more than two components, three components. For example, say salt, sugar and water. Salt also soluble in water, sugar also soluble in water, the another come water. So if you take salt, sugar and water in the water solution, salt, sugar and water are there. So there are three components. One is salt, second one is sugar, third one is water. Salt, sugar, water. There are three components in the solution. So it is called a ternary solution because a kind of solution which contain three components. So it is called a ternary solution. Then next see, so here the formation of copper sulfate is given. Copper sulfate is going to be bluish in color. It is a salt, a simple salt, water. Then when you are going to dissolve copper sulfate in water, you will get a bluish color copper sulfate solution. So there are two components. Copper sulfate is solid, water is solvent. So there are two components in the copper sulfate solution. So it is called a binary solution. Then types of solution based on the physical state of the solid and solvent. So the physical state, whether the solid is going to be maybe solid or liquid or gas. Similarly, the solvent may be solid, liquid or gas. Depend upon the nature, we are classifying into different types. So we know that substances normally exist in three physical states. Already you have studied in 8th standard, 7th standard, solid, liquid, gases. So in binary solution, both the solvent and solid may exist in any of these physical states. One may be liquid, one may be solid, one may be gas, one may be solid. But the solvent constitutes a major part of the solution because a solvent is going to be a larger proportion in the solution. So solvent is going to be a larger amount by weight. So we are considering the constituents of solvent because that only going to play a very important role in the formation of solution. So its physical state is the primary factor. Which physical state? The solvent physical state is a primary factor which will determine the characteristics of solution because solvents are always in the larger amount by weight. So the larger amount by weight, that component going to determine the characteristics of the solution. Therefore, there are different types of binary solutions listed in the table 9.1. Now see, you can see types of binary solution. Solid, solvent. Example, first to take a solid solution. Solid in solid, two solid particles are mixed with one another. That is normally in the alloys. Metals are used sometime along with the non-metal also to prepare alloys. Alloys are what? Alloys are a homogeneous mixture of metals with the non-metal. copper and gold. Then liquid and solid, mercury with sodium. Mercury. So mercury is a liquid form of a metal with sodium. So they are going to form amalgam. Then amalgam means nothing but any type of solution with the mercury. Type of solution with the mercury, that is called amalgam. Then liquid solution, solid liquid. Solid is dissolved in liquid because liquid is the major proportion there. For example, sodium chloride in water, sugar in water, glucose in water. These are all the example. Then liquid in liquid, two liquids are mixed with one another. For example, ethyl alcohol in water, ethyl alcohol in water, and milk in water. These are all the example. Then next one, see, gas in liquid, gas in liquid, carbon dioxide dissolved in water. So in the preparation of soda water, aerated water or carbonated water, carbon dioxide gas is dissolved in water using high pressure. That is called soda water. So gas is dissolved. So gas is dissolved. Gas is going to be lesser proportion and water is going to be a larger proportion. Then next one, see, gaseous solution. For example, take a liquid in gas, liquid water vapor in cloud. In cloud, see, the water molecules are on the air. Water molecules are on the air. That is called a cloud. Then gas in gas, mixture of helium, oxygen gases. Helium mixed with oxygen. Helium is a inactive gas with oxygen, and this is used by deep sea divers for breathing purpose. Then these are the examples for types of binary solution. Already learned binary solutions mean nothing but solution which are made of one solid and one solvent. That means two component in a solution mean that is called binary solution. So here two components are there, and solid solution, solid, liquid solution, and gaseous solution. Two components are there. So these are the examples and types of binary solution. The next one, see, based on the types of solvent, based on the type, how will we classify the solution based on the type of solvent? The previous one, based on the physical state of solid and solvent, we have discussed. Based on the physical state of the solid and solvent, we have classified the solutions, binary solution. Now, based on the type of solvent, solvent is going to be larger in proportion by weight. So based on the solvent taken, we are going to classify the solution into categories, into two categories, that is aqueous solution, non-aqueous solution. See, most of the substances are soluble in water. That's why water is called universal solvent. And you have to note down, water is a universal solvent because most of the and our day-to-day activities are done or made using the water for the dissolving, for washing purpose. In factory also for dissolving purpose, for removing the effluents. For all those things, water is used. So water is a universal solvent. In our body also, water is used to dissolve, to remove kinds of waste products. Then, however, some substances do not dissolve in water. But all the substances are not going to dissolve in water. Example, ether, benzene, alcohol. So these substances are used like organic solvent. So therefore, other solvents such as ether, benzene, alcohol are used to prepare solution. So water is a universal solvent. Out of water, other solvents like ether, benzene, alcohol, toluene, there are different kinds are there, also used to prepare solution. These are used to prepare paint, dye. In those industries, this type of solutions are used. Then on the basis of type of solvent, solutions are classified into two types. They are aqueous solution and non-aqueous solution. So from name itself you have to understand aqua. Aqua means water. So solution made by water is called aqueous solution. Solution made by water. But non-aqueous means a solution not made by water, other than water. So aqueous solution, a solution in which water acts as a solvent. So the first two lines are definition. Solution in which water acts as a solvent is called aqueous solution. What is the important one? Water is the solvent. If the solution contain water is solvent, that is called aqueous solution. Example, common salt in water, sugar in water, copper sulfate in water. So normally ionic compounds like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, copper sulfate, these are all the ionic compound easily soluble, easily dissolve in water. So they are readily going to give a solution. Readily going to give solution compared to the covalent compounds. Then non-aqueous solution, that is nothing but the solution in which any liquid other than water act as a solvent, that is called a non-aqueous solution. Here see, here water is not act as a solvent other than water, like benzene, toluene, ether, alcohol. So like these solvents are taken for the preparation of solution. So these type of solutions are called non-aqueous solution. So solvent other than water is referred as non-aqueous solvent. Example, alcohol, benzene, ether, carbon disulfide, acetone. These are all non-aqueous solvent. Then example for non-aqueous solution, sulfur in carbon disulfide. Sulfur will not dissolve in water. Iodine will not dissolve in water. So iodine dissolve in carbon tetrachloride. So wax will not dissolve in water. So we will take this type of non-aqueous solvent for their dilution. So these solutions are called non-aqueous solution. Non-aqueous solution. Then next to see, here example is given. See in figure 9.4, sulfur in carbon disulfide. Sulfur in carbon disulfide. So that is a non-aqueous solution. But second portion gives that sulfur in water. The sulfur particles are there itself, which is insoluble. So it will not going to give a solution. So carbon disulfide is a non-aqueous solvent. Non-aqueous solvent. Then next to see, based on the amount of solid, I will classify the solution based on the amount of solid. So my dear boys, in the first case we have discussed that based on the physical state of solid and solvent. That means a binary solution based on the physical state of solid and solvent. Then second one, based on the type of solvent, aqueous and non-aqueous. Then third type, based on the amount of solid. Always solid is always going to be lesser proportion by weight. Lesser proportion by weight. So based on the amount of solid in the solution, we are going to classify the solution into three categories. One is saturated solution, another one unsaturated solution, third one supersaturated solution. Supersaturated solution. See, the amount of solid that can be dissolved in the given amount of solvent is limited under any given condition. Based on the amount of solid in the given amount of solvent, solutions are classified into following type: saturated solution, unsaturated solution, supersaturated solution. So there are three types of solution based on the amount of solid in the solvent. Amount of solid in the solvent. See, first one say saturated solution. In the saturated solution, a solution in which no more solid can be dissolved in definite amount of solvent at given temperature. That is called a saturated solution. The saturated solution you have to understand. In that solvent, the maximum solubility is obtained. The maximum solubility is obtained. So no more solid is going to be dissolved. So that the solvent reaches the maximum solubility at normal temperature. Furthermore, addition of solute in the solvent will not give homogeneous mixture. So this type of condition is called a saturated solution. That is only given here. See, a solution in which no more solid, that means no further addition of solid is possible in the definite amount of solvent and the given temperature. So we are taking definite amount of solvent, means for example take 100 gram of solvent. In 100 gram of water, then how many grams of solute is dissolved? How many grams of solute is dissolved? So if the solid reaches the maximum amount, that means it's going to give a saturated solution. That is called a no more solid. Further addition of solute is not possible in the definite amount of solvent at the definite temperature, at the given temperature. That is called a saturated solution. For example, 36 gram of sodium chloride in 100 gram of water. So 100 gram of water is the definite amount of solvent at normal room temperature, 25 degrees Celsius. At normal room temperature, if you take 100 gram of water in a beaker, you are going to adding salt, first 10 gram, then furthermore. If you add, means up to 36 gram of sodium chloride can be dissolved in 100 gram of water. Up to 36 gram, not more than 36 gram. If you add 1 more gram of salt in 100 gram of water at 25 degree, that 1 gram will not dissolve in the 100 gram of water at 25 degree. So the maximum solubility is 36 gram. So this is called a saturated solution. Then next one, see. So further addition of sodium chloride, leave it undissolved. So if you add 1 more gram, more than the 36, if you add 1 more gram, that 1 gram, or if you add 5 gram, all the 5 grams are going to be leave it undissolved. It's going to be slowly settle down in the beaker. So what is the maximum solubility of sodium chloride? 36 gram in 100 gram of water at 25 degrees Celsius. That is called a saturated solution. Next, see, unsaturated solution. So unsaturated solution is one that contain less solid than saturated. That means what? Less than 36 gram. Less than, if the solution contain less than 36 gram, that is called unsaturated solution. Suppose the solution contain 5 gram of sodium chloride, or 10 gram of sodium chloride, or 20, 25, 30, that is called unsaturated, because furthermore solid can be dissolved. We can dissolve furthermore. Suppose if you take 10 gram only, you can add more, 26 gram can be added. If you take 20 gram in 100 gram of water, you can add 16 gram. Suppose if you take 30 gram, and you can also add 6 more gram to get saturated solution. So we are comparing with the saturated solution. So the solution contain less amount of solid is called unsaturated solution. A solution contain less amount of solid at a given temperature is called unsaturated solution. For example, 10 gram of salt in 100 gram of water at 25 degree. Then supersaturated solution mean one that contain more solid than saturated solution. More solid. So in the saturated solution, no more solid can be dissolved in the unsaturated solution that contain less solid compared to the saturated solution, but supersaturated solution which contain more solid than the saturated. More solid, that means saturated solution means 36 gram of sodium chloride in 100 gram of water. 36 gram of sodium chlorine 100 gram of water is saturated solution. Less than 36 gram going to give a unsaturated solution. More than 36 going to give supersaturated. For example, 40 gram of sodium chloride in 100 gram of water at 25 degrees form supersaturated solution. See, 36 gram only the maximum solubility of 100 gram of solvent. 36 gram sodium chloride can be dissolved in 100 gram of water at 25 degrees. But we are dissolving more than 36, more solid than saturated at given temperature. 40 gram sodium chloride, 100 gram of water at 25 degree. This is going to form a supersaturated solution. But normally this state will not be easily obtained. This state can be obtained only by altering some condition like changing the temperature, changing the pressure. Then only this solubility is possible. At normal 25 degree, the solubility of 40 gram of sodium chlorine, 100 gram of solvent is not possible. Only by altering the changing the temperature. Increasing the temperature means increasing the solubility. Temperature increase, solubility also increase. So by altering the condition of temperature and pressure, this state can be achieved. Supersaturated solutions are unstable because when the condition is going to be removed, the more solid going to be settled at the bottom of the container. So supersaturated solutions are unstable one, and the solid is reappearing as crystals when the solution is disturbed. When the solution is going to be disturbed, what happens? See, the particles can be seen, they are going to be reappeared or sometime going to settle down. So here one more example is given, conceptual thought. See, you are given two samples of solutions of sodium chloride. So two samples are given, two beakers are given. Both the beakers, sodium chloride solution is given, salt solution. Two beaker, both the beaker contain salt solution. What is the question? Can you identify which one is saturated and how? Which one is saturated and how? So I will going to identify this using this simple test. See, it is given. See, I will check whether it is saturated. If we going to add 1 more gram of sodium chloride in the given sample solutions, in the first given sample solution, suppose the 1 gram addition of sodium chloride is possible, it is going to dissolve, means that is not a saturated one. If it is not dissolved, means that is a saturated, that reaches the maximum solubility. So by the addition of furthermore grams of solid can give whether it is saturated or unsaturated. Suppose the addition of solid is possible, it going to dissolve, means that is not saturated. The addition of solid will not dissolve, settle at the bottom, means that is a saturated solution. That is a saturated solution. So next topic, concentrated and dilute solution, that we will see in the next class. We will see in the next class. So my dear students, so far we have discussed about solution, that is from the beginning. See in the introduction part it is given. See, mixtures already have learned. Mixtures are nothing but mixtures are a kind of substance contain two or more elements or compound physically mixed in any ratio. And for example, when you burn wood, it releases smoke along with the carbon dioxide. There are two different state of components. And also mixtures in our day-to-day life, there are different kinds of mixture like sea water. Seawater is a mixture because it contains some dissolved salt. Air is a mixture, it contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide. So a kind of homogeneous mixture is called solution. Kind of homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous means that the components are uniformly distributed throughout the solution. That is called homogeneous. And there are two things in the solution. One is solid. One is solid. Another one solvent. One is solid. Another one solvent. Solid is always lesser amount by weight. Solvent is always larger amount by weight. Then only we will get a uniform homogeneous mixture, that is called a solution. That is called a solution. Then example, salt solution, solution of sugar. Binary solution means if solution contain two components, that is called binary solution. Suppose solution contain three components, that is called a ternary solution. Then types of solution based on physical state of solute and solvent, that is given in the tabular column. That is solid solution, liquid solution, gaseous solution. Here two components are there, so that's why it is called a binary solution. Then based on types of solvent, that the universal solvent is water. Water is universal solvent, but all the substances do not dissolve in water. So some other organic solvents like ether, benzene, alcohol, toluene, so they are also used to prepare solution. So if there are two types of solution based on the types of solvent. Aqueous solution, water act as a solvent, that is aqueous solution, common salt in water. Then any liquid other than water act as solvent, that is called a non-aqueous solution. Example, sulfur in carbon disulfide. Sulfur in carbon disulfide. Then next one, see, based on the amount of solid, we are classifying the solution into three types based on the amount of solid: saturated solution, unsaturated solution, supersaturated. So solution, no more solid can be dissolved in definite amount of solvent at a definite temperature is saturated solution. Example, 36 gram of sodium chloride, 100 gram of water at 25 degree. Then next one, see, unsaturated solution means that solution contain less solid than the saturated solution. Solution contain less solid than the saturated solution. For example, 10 gram or 20 gram or 30 gram of sodium chloride, 100 gram of water, 25 degree. Then supersaturated solution mean that contain more solid than the saturated solution at given temperature. More solid than the saturated solution at given temperature. Example, 40 gram of sodium chloride, 100 gram of water at 25 degree. So this state is achieved by changing the condition, like increasing the temperature, altering the pressure. Then so next concentrate we will discuss later. So you have to go through up to finished, up to learn, and also make a note of in your notebook. And already I posted the question answer, textbook evaluation question answer for the periodic classification of elements. For those, you have to write in your classwork, that is short answer, long answer, and hard question. Write question, underline the question, and answer. You have to write question, underline the question, and answer. This you have to use for the practice, for your learning purpose. So you go through this lesson also, and don't waste the time, and we will see in the next class. God bless you. Thank you.